The lack of accountability in this government is astounding. Now, anyone can turn around. The counter argument to anything, any opposition towards Labour from Labour supporters is, well, we've had 14 years of XYZ. I'm not saying we haven't had 14 years of XYZ, but what I am saying is that is not an excuse to carry on the trend. That is not an excuse, well, it was all their fault. That is just the cheapest politics ever. That is, yeah, we've screwed it up, but we're just going to blame it on them because we're realising now we weren't fit for the job, and they're not fit for the job. They had 14 years to watch and learn. If the Tories were as bad as they say they are, and in some areas they were worse, but if they were as bad as they say they are, why didn't they learn from that? Why didn't they sit and vow never to behave in that way? I look at people who behave badly and I make it a personal mission to never repeat their behaviour, ever. I will not stoop to their level. And yet here we are with a ruling party who have basically no idea how to behave. And we see this with, I mean, we joke about Angela Rayner asking if she can go on safari, you know, and is it the end of the world comment? Well, no, it's not the end of the world comment, but it's just another example of how Angela Rayner doesn't understand the seriousness of the role that she's in. She's not there to go on safari. For me, it's actually not so much about, you know, wanting to go on safari. It's about the fact that she's on a work trip and she wants to extend that into a personal trip when the entire country is falling apart. You know, safari for a lot of people is the soft play. You know, it's absolutely not going on a plane and going and seeing these actual animals, because that is out of reach for the majority of people in this country. Yet Angela Rayner thinks, and I know why she thinks it, because she's never had these experiences before, and it's exciting and it's new, and she's never had the opportunity to go to safari, and I don't blame you for that, Angela, but now is not the time. What is it that makes you think that a work trip as a member of Parliament is the time to go on safari? The time for that, Angela, is when you've saved your money, you've bought your own airfares, you're not tagging it on the back of something else that someone else has paid for, and you're not supposed to be there on ministerial work. It's in the summer holidays like everybody else, and you're absolutely right, it's more expensive in the summer holidays. Well, that's unfortunate, my love. Join our gang. Either have a word with travel companies and stop them putting their prices up so much in school holidays, or just save like the rest of us do, or go to a host seasons like the rest of us do. And that, I think, is where we've got the biggest disconnect in this country. It is where we have got people pretending to be working people. Angela Rayner, Rachel Reeves, Bridget Phillipson and Keir Starmer are no more working people. They have absolutely reformed and reshaped their social standing. They are not working people. And I tell you that from the definition of working people, which is not having any savings. Well, that makes me very much a working person, and that makes them very much not working people. They're on a salary I could only dream of. But moreover, they don't respect the role they're in. They don't take it seriously. They have no code of conduct. They are not bound by an ethical framework. They are simply bound by their own standards. And when we talk about raising high and rising standards, I look at the Labour Party and think, well, I mean, that's not difficult because your standards couldn't be lower if you tried. It's embarrassing. It's a national embarrassment. And we've got another God knows how many years of this before the next party get in, and the next party have to undo that. And there we go again. We just have to spend the next however many years they're in power going on, well, it was all their fault. When are we ever going to learn? When are we ever actually going to start to adult? Because if you can't do it, you shouldn't be in that position, in my humble opinion.